student, we have studied about story of transport and how far we have traveled from ancient to modern times, and also how wide is the decks in the previous lesson of chapter motion and measurement of distances. So student, can you tell what are the methods used to measure length and distances before the time of invention of standard scale? As I have also stated earlier that before the invention of scale, the length was measured with random wooden stick, hands and threads, and similarly the distance were measured in days or time taken to reach from one place to another place. So student, in today's lesson we will study about some measurements and standard unit of measurements. Now let us see what techniques are available to measure distances. So student, let us perform an activity. You can work in groups and each of you this activity one by one. Using your foot as a unit of length, measure the length and breadth of the classroom. Record your observation in table. It may possible that while measuring these you may find some parts remain to be measured as it is smaller than your foot. You can use a string to measure the length of a part of your foot as you did before. Let us perform another activity. You can also work in groups for this activity. Each of you use your handspan as a unit to measure the width of a table or a desk in the classroom. Here too, you find that you need string length equal to your handspan and then fraction of this length to make measurement. Record all observation in another table. Now students, study all the measurement recorded in both tables. Are all measurement for the room using everybody's foots equals? Are everybody measurement by handspan of width of the table equal? Perhaps the result could be different as the length of handspan and that of your friends may not be the same. Similarly, the length of the foot may be slightly different for other students. So student, if length or distance is measured by the length or foot or handspan of a person, the same length or distance will have different value as the length of foot or handspan of different people differ slightly. Before the metrics for the measurement were developed, people used several differences means to calculate length or distance. For example, a carpenter would measure the length of wood using his palm, finger or arms, and a cloth sailor would measure the length of cloth against outstretched arm. Well, there is nothing wrong with that, but it will create a lot of confusion. To clear the confusion, the need of exact measurement came into being. To standardize measurement and ensure consistency, standard needed to be set. So student, can you define measurement? Let me tell about the definition of measurement. Measurement is a comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. This known fixed quantity is called unit. Measurement consists two parts, a number, quantity, and a unit. Depending upon the unit, the number changes. So student, can you tell me an example of standard unit measurement? Students, I do not need to tell you. All of us use such unit all the time. Can you tell the length and the breadth of your room? Perhaps you may not tell the answer, but you do remember the ones your parent told you that it is calculated in feet. So student, I will tell you how measurement evolved. Excavation in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, the ancient Indian Valley civilization revealed that uniform unit of length was put into use while planning towns. These excavations shows evidence of perfectly geometrical construction. If you remember, I mentioned earlier that foot length or palm length was commonly used as non-standard unit of measurement. Historians say that the Egyptians formulated the cubit. The cubit was the base measurement of the pyramid. So student, have you ever heard about cubit? Let me tell you about cubit. The point from where our elbow bent to the tip of the middle finger of our outstretched hand is cubit. So, cubit is defined as the length from the elbow to the fingertips. Considering that cubit could vary too, the cubit was eventually standardized to 18 inches. So, students, you can ask that what feet are. A foot is one of the fraction of cubit. 1 foot is equal to 2/3 of cubit is equal to 12 inches. So, the foot is 12 inches. The foot came into the picture a bit later in history. Sometimes around the time when pyramids were begun built. As for the inches, it was invented by Romans. The Romans inches divided the foot into 12 units. Before the inches was standardized, it was equivalent to width of a man's thumb. In India, the mutti or the fist and the angul or the finger were used as the unit of measurement to avoid confusion resulting from non-standard unit of measurement. In 1790, the French created a standard unit for measurement called the metric system. However, scientists all over the world felt the need of uniformity in the standards for the measurement of length and distance. Today, we will use a standard unit of measurements. This system of units is called International System of Unit or SI units. That is how the meter was born. The SI unit for length is meter and is denoted by small letter m. Meter is equal to m. Each meter is equal to 100 equal division. Each equal division called the centimeter denoted by two small letter cm. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So students, you can check your geometry box. You will see what R means. But we often measure distance in kilometer. For measuring large distance as per SI units, we use the kilometer denote by two small letter kilometer. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. So students, you can repeat all measurement activity using a standard scale and measurement in SI units. Now, student, all of you know about the standard measurements, but can you tell the correct way of measuring length and distance? You may not be able to tell the answer correctly. Students, we will study this in the next lesson. So we have completed the lesson. Now, we will summarize this lesson. We study about some measurement and scale used before in the invention of standard unit. We can define measurement and unit. We can define cubit. We can formulate the inches from cubit. We can recall the evolution of measurement. We can tell the conversion table of metric system. So student, let us discuss some questions from this lesson. What we have learned. What is called the standard system of measurement? Let me answer. The standard system of measurement is called the International System of Unit or SI unit. What is the SI unit of length? Let me answer you. The SI unit of length is meter denoted by m. In which year French created the metric system? Let me answer you. In 1719, the French created the metric system. Who invented the inch? Let me answer you. The inches was invented by the Romans. Give the definition of the cubit. Let me answer. Cubit is defined as the length from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger or our outstretched hand. How many inches together make a cubit? Let me answer you. The cubit was eventually standardized to 18 inches. So students, in next lesson we will study about correct measurement of length and measuring the length of a curved line. Thank you student. Goodbye.